This is the story of a woman who committed a monstrous crime. All her actions were driven by love. A love story gone wrong. The Samantha and Mikal tragedy. Samantha Hudson of Columbus, Ohio. Life was never easy. Abandoned by her parents at a young age, she grew up in multiple foster homes, where she was often mistreated and neglected. The anger from her childhood abandonment ran deep. At the age of 18, she had to leave the foster care system and was on her own.
She moved in with her girlfriend, Ashley, whom she had met at work. They shared a small one-bedroom apartment and both worked at McDonald's, barely making ends meet. Things took a turn when Ashley quit her job and started working at a nightclub as a bartender, where she made significantly more money.
Samantha, however, chose a different path. Instead of quitting, she enrolled in night classes to earn her medical assistant license. She had always loved helping people, especially when they were sick, and saw it as a secure job in the healthcare field. The course was expensive, and she could barely keep up with the weekly payments. Ashley, seeing her struggle, suggested she come work at the club to make more money.
Girl, you can make a lot of money down at the club.
One night, Samantha went with Ashley to the club to speak with the manager. She got hired, not as a bartender, but as a dancer.
About a month later, she met an older man named Mikal. He was 30 years old and a drug dealer. They started talking, and soon he was showering her with love and money. Mikal was deeply infatuated with Samantha. He asked her to move in with him to his one-bedroom apartment.
Love you.
He also convinced her to quit school and dancing, promising to take care of her every need. Trusting him, she agreed.
Everything seemed perfect at first until it wasn't.
I own you now.
Samantha quickly learned that her relationship comes at a price not long after she learned McCall was a very controlling person.
Listen, woman.
Isolating her from people she knew before meeting him, including her girlfriend Ashley. One day, one of McCall's drug-dealing associates, Kevin, took some drugs from him with the promise to pay once he sold the merchandise. But Kevin claimed he had been robbed and had no money.
I don't have it.
People around town, however, saw Kevin flaunting money, entertaining women, and even buying a luxury car.
It's all for us, baby.
Mikal was furious. He wanted revenge. He devised a plan. He and Samantha would stake out Kevin's house, wait for him to come home, and confront him to get the money back. They arrived at Kevin's house and waited about an hour.
Samantha, don't mess this up.
I won't, babe.
When Kevin finally pulled up in his car, he wasn't alone. His wife was with him. This surprised Mikal and Samantha, as Kevin was known for traveling alone. Until Kevin opened the door, then rushed him at gunpoint, ordered him to hand over the money, His wife started crying in shock. They pushed both of them into the house. Mikal told Samantha to watch Kevin's wife while he forced Kevin at gunpoint to show him where the money was. Kevin started struggling with Mikal. He was a bit stronger, and the two began to tussle. Mikal shouted for Samantha to help him. She ran into the room and, in a moment of panic, pointed the gun at Kevin and shot him in the lower back. Kevin collapsed and died on the spot. Meanwhile, Kevin's wife, who was left alone in the other room, had heard the gunshot. She jumped up and ran toward the front door. Samantha fired at her and missed. Realizing the neighbors might have heard the shots and possibly called the police, they panicked. As they were leaving, they noticed a shadow behind a tree. It was Kevin's wife, hiding. Mikal got out of the car, pointed the gun at her as she begged for her life, promising not to say a word. He shot her dead on the spot.
Please don't!
Or so they thought.
Hang in there. Help is on the way.
They lay low for a month, but unbeknownst to them, Kevin's wife, Brittany, had survived. She later gave a description to a sketch artist, and the police released a composite drawing of both suspects. A month later, Mikal was pulled over during a routine traffic stop. He was arrested for a parole violation after police found weed, also most widely known as marijuana, in his car. At the police station, one of the dispatchers, who happened to be Brittany, the surviving victim's cousin, recognized him from the sketch and alerted the officers.
What? The man who shot my cousin and killed her husband is here in lockup. I recognized him yesterday. Just to be sure, I went to the hospital and confirmed with my cousin yesterday.
Detective, we finally got them. Open and shut case.
Mikal was stunned to learn that Brittany had survived.
Mikal, get up. I have to take you to the interrogation room.
Brittany, they caught them finally.
In a desperate move to save himself, he threw Samantha under the bus, claiming she had pulled the trigger in exchange for a lighter sentence. At first, Samantha refused to speak to detectives. She had always been loyal to Mikal. But when they informed her that Mikal had betrayed her, she broke down and told them everything. In the end, both Samantha and Mikal were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 25 years. Moral of the story: love can make people do some crazy things, even take a life. Don't fall in love with someone who says the right things. Fall in love with someone who does the right things. See you in the next love drama.